Hey everyone, and welcome. Have you ever been staring at a sentence in Spanish, just completely stumped by one tiny little word that seems like it has no reason to be there? Well, you are definitely in the right place. Today, we're going to unlock one of the biggest little mysteries in Spanish grammar. Let's jump right in.
I bet you've seen a sentence exactly like this one. Le doy el libro a María. Now, your brain sees a María and thinks, got it, I give the book to María. It's perfectly clear. So what in the world is that little lay doing in there? It just feels extra, right? Well, that's the code we're going to crack together today.
Okay, so the very first key to this whole puzzle is what I like to call the unskippable pronoun rule. I promise you, once you really get this, everything else just starts to fall into place. And it all starts with a simple little grammar concept.
And that concept is the indirect object. Now I know, that sounds all technical and stuffy, but it's actually super simple. It's just the person who gets the thing. In a sentence like, I give the book to her, the book is what you're giving, and her is the one receiving it. The indirect object just answers the question, to whom or for whom. And here it is. This is the golden rule, the absolute bedrock of this whole topic. You see, in English, we could just say, I give the book to Maria. But in Spanish, that's just plain wrong. You absolutely have to have that pronoun in there. It is 100% non-negotiable.
So here's the best way to think about it. That little pronoun, the lay in our example, it's the star of the show. It's the main character. It has to be in the sentence. Everything else is just the supporting cast. The star always gets top billing.
And here are our stars. These are the pronouns that you always gotta have. You've got me for to me, te for to you, le for to him, her or you formal, nos for to us, and les for to them. These are those non-negotiable main characters we've been talking about.
Okay, so if the pronoun is the mandatory star, what's the deal with the a Maria part? Well, that brings us to our next point. It's time to meet the helpful sidekick.
So why do we even need a sidekick in the first place? Well, if I just say, le doy el libro, who am I actually giving the book to? That little pronoun, le, all by itself can be kind of vague. It could mean I'm giving it to him, to her, or even to you formally.
And this takes us right back to our original mystery sentence. Now it makes sense, right? Le is our star. It's required. And a Maria is our optional but super helpful sidekick. Its only job is to show up and clarify which le we're talking about. The pronoun is the rule. The clarifier is just a courtesy.
Okay, time for a super quick check-in. How would you fill in the blank on this one? She explains the homework to me. Think about it. Who is receiving the explanation? It's to me. So, which pronoun do we need?
You got it. Me explica la tarea. The pronoun me is our star, so it's required. You could add a me at the end if you really wanted to emphasize it, but you can't ever leave out that me. Nice work.
All right, you've totally got the basic rule down. So now it's time to level up your skills. Let's talk about what I call the Salo power-up. This is like a secret combo move that's going to make your Spanish sound way more advanced.
So what happens when you decide you want to replace everything with pronouns? Let's take the sentence, I give the gift to Anna. We know we need a pronoun for to Anna, but what if we also want to replace the gift with it?
Okay, let's just walk through this step by step. We start with our perfectly correct sentence, le doy el regalo a Ana. Now, if we swap el regalo for its pronoun, lo, we logically get le lo doy. But just try saying that out loud a few times. Le lo. Le lo. It's kind of clunky, right? Spanish speakers thought so too. So purely for the sake of sounding better, that le transforms to se, and you get the final, smooth version, se lo doy.
And that's the whole secret combo right there. It's a rule that's all about how things sound. Anytime you have le or les sitting right in front of another pronoun like lo, la, los, or las, that le or les just switches to se. That's it.
Okay, awesome. You've learned the main rules of the road. Now let's see how this code actually works out there in the wild with a few different verbs and types of sentences.
You know, this whole structure isn't just for the verb dar, to give. There's a whole family of really common verbs that use this all the time. Anytime you're giving, telling, sending, buying for someone, explaining, or writing to someone, yeah, you're going to be using this pattern.
So what about negative sentences? Is it going to get complicated? Nope, not at all. The rule works perfectly. The word no just goes right at the beginning, before our star pronoun. No le compro nada. See? The le is still right there, hugging the verb. And it's the exact same deal for questions. The structure stays solid. ¿Le escribes a tu madre? There's our star, le, right before the verb, and look, there's our optional sidekick, a tu madre, jumping in to clarify. The system just works.
And there you have it. You followed all the clues, you learned the secret rules, and now you have the master key. The code to Spanish indirect objects has officially been unlocked.
So let's just recap the key takeaways real quick. First, indirect objects are all about to whom or for whom. Second, and this is the big one, the pronoun is the star. It is always required. Third, the clarifier with a is the helpful but totally optional sidekick. And finally, don't forget that lay low is a no-go, so lay becomes say.
But really, if you only remember one single thing from this entire explainer, please let it be this. That pronoun is mandatory. It is the #1 most important rule. You can't ever leave the star of the show out of your sentence.
So you came here with a common nagging question, and now you have the key. And I promise you, this little piece of grammar is going to pop up everywhere you look. And from now on, you're going to get it. So what's next? What other part of Spanish that used to feel confusing are you now ready to go out and conquer? Keep on learning and keep unlocking those codes.